What up, YouTube? It's Misery Hates Company. In this video, we're going to look at the brand new patch notes that just dropped yesterday, and wow, we are getting one heck of a patch. It's actually not the content I thought we were going to be getting, but there are some really awesome things that I am so excited to A, play, and B, covering content, and C, covering this video right now. So, without further ado, let's get straight to it. All right, so first things first, discover good fortune in Tong Shi's renewal. These are, it looks like the skins that we're going to be getting potentially in the battle pass, which are freaking cool. First off, this looks like the warrior, crusader, monk, blind monk. That's really cool. Demon hunter looks sick. This is the necromancer and the wizard in the back. Really curious what the wizard's going to look like as a male, if it's still going to have like those robes. But I like this skin a lot. This is definitely going to be probably the skin that I use 90% of the time. I'm very much looking forward to that. But anyway, that's not the main point of this video. All right, so this is the update will happen at January 15th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. PST, and then or January 16th. I think it's usually January 16th. Maybe for us, I don't know, in the Americas. Yeah, there you go. All right, so we're going to cover most of the stuff in this update. There is a lot. There are 36 brand new legendary items coming to the game, which I'm actually not going to cover in this video. I'm going to cover that in my video tomorrow, because some of these builds that they cover, or that are, I guess, potential builds that we're going to be getting from these legendary items are really interesting. And I do want to cover that more in depth. And this video is just really high level, looking at the changes that are coming. So 36 new legendary items, with several of which coming in for obviously all the different classes. Now, the one thing they are doing differently is that these legendary items are only available in Hell difficulty 6 or higher. So they're making this change to the new legendary items that are added into Diablo Immortal to give players unique rewards to strive towards as they move upward in Hell difficulty. I also think this is a huge W, because if you first get to the game and you're trying to unlock a certain legendary, if you have all of them, I guess, in the pool at first, it's going to be very difficult to unlock a very certain legendary. So I actually like that they're going to progress with you. Like, the higher you get in Hell difficulty, the more legendary abilities you have to unlock. I think that's a massive win. Unless, of course, the new legendaries are just game buster, in which case you have to wait all the way till difficulty 6, Hell 6 to get it. But again, you can make the argument like you don't really need like meta gear until that happens. But so that's just top level, 36 legendary items. You cannot use them or even receive them until you get to Hell difficulty 6, which is a huge W. Like I said, we're going to go ahead. Actually, I guess I should use the codex. Okay, that's just not what I was looking for. Sick, love that. All right, so we're going to cover all those in a different video. So dungeon set drops. This is a pretty massive change. I'm not going to lie, make sure I didn't skip anything here. Oh, no, I did. Wow. I skipped a pretty important one, obviously. Legendary essence extraction. So now, instead of going to the blacksmith and turning in your legendary and getting like one of those little orb things, now you have to you're actually going to be able to extract all of them instead of being able to salvage them. And so you actually get the essence that you would have gotten from the extraction now instead, even on the first attempt, which is a pretty nice change. You're also going to be able to basically power up and receive upgrade materials. Oh wait, this is covering the first time you extract an essence, you actually do get the upgrade materials that you would have gotten otherwise. So that way you don't have to make the choice between gaining a legendary essence or upgrading the materials. So as your essence mastery level increases, it will further enhance the power of all of your legendary attributes. Some skills will receive damage bonuses, while others might receive cooldown reduction or other effects. Now again, I didn't cover this too much, I just skimmed over it, but basically the more of the same legendary you get, you're going to then be able to power up your legendaries essentially, and increase your essence mastery for that legendary. Now, where was it? They do cover it here in a second. I want to mention the way they word it is pretty important. It says right here in the middle. So when you first get your first legendary item, you will be able to your first extraction will pull out the legendary essence and store it for you to inherit later. As it always has. Further extractions will grant you essence energy to increase your essence mastery level. However, extracting essence energy from a particular legendary item will become more difficult with each essence energy you obtain from it, and eventually you will no longer be able to extract the energy from that legendary item. I interpret this as a chance system. Other YouTubers covered this in their videos yesterday, but I think they're going to lean really hard on RNG here, because that's going to help keep the system, I think, alive the longest and make it a true grind, which they do reference later on. in the dev notes. So this is a pretty interesting change. And when I say by a chance, so like obviously the first essence, you have a, let's say a 95% chance of getting that essence mastery level increase. And then the more times you do it for that specific one, that percent chance will go down. So it's a percent chance you get the upgrade, and it's like a roll, if you will, that you'll be able to get it or not. This is consistent across most mobile games. There is a certain level of RNG. I'm fine with one level of RNG in this case. I guess it's two levels, because the first RNG is being able to get the same legendary, and the second level of RNG is being able to upgrade the essence, which is, it flirts the line of like being okay or not in my book. I am good with this change. I'm actually very excited about it. It's another way of gaining power in a unique way while still giving value to those that don't necessarily want to switch between all the different classes and want to stay to your main class. So now, instead of like, getting that sort of excitement, if you will, from different classes, legendaries, now you can get that same excitement just for getting the same legendary you already got, because you're in theory powering up your character even stronger, your class. So I think this is a really nice change. But yeah, very interesting here. So the NPC will be in West March, which is pretty obvious. Looking forward to that. So this is where the dev notes came in, and I do think this is pretty interesting, so I'm going to read it to you guys. So we've made this change to aid in improving the experience of finding duplicate legendary items, and for farmers to gain power slightly faster, but without creating an overbearing obstacle for more casual players. Additionally, we wanted to create increased build diversity, which obviously makes a lot of sense. But the biggest thing here is that you're actually going to be able to use your duplicate legendaries instead of, like, let's say you don't get a like a triple roll stat that gives you more stats or better stats. Now you're actually going to be able to still use it regardless if it's good, bad, or indifferent. So that's pretty nice. I like that change. And I do like that they kind of tip the hat here to the farmers. I had this one guy in several of my videos comment the same exact thing, that they're always, what does he say? Basically that they are always rewarding the casual player, but they never reward like the hardcore farmers, which they're not necessarily rewarding the hardcore farmers, but you are getting a power increase slightly faster than the overall, I guess, general public, which is very good. It is rewarding the grinders for grinding. All right, so now the next thing I actually want to talk about is the dungeon set item drops. We have a guaranteed set item drop after many dungeons completions. Now, they do not go into how many is many, but they do go on to say that dungeons boosted by the codex have a lower threshold of before a guaranteed set item drops, basically meaning if you farm the boosted dungeons, you're going to get a guaranteed set item faster, which obviously makes sense since it's boosted. They don't say how many it is, but overall, you get a guaranteed legendary for getting 3 dungeons done. And now if you were just grinding dungeons, which could be a really good benefit here, we'll talk about in a second, you're going to get the mats or the materials you need to upgrade your legendary gear in general, like the armor level, but then you're also going to be getting the set items more frequently, which is a very, very good change. And then basically here in the dev notes, they confirm that as we continue to evaluate the state of set items, we identified that need to keep improving the player's ability to acquire them. Set items crafting was a great step forward, and we believe this additional update will further aid players in acquiring the specific set items they want. Totally agree, and they're actually going to some additional changes, like I said, here in a second, that are also going to benefit from dungeon drops. So cross-server dungeons, when a player is trying to find party for a dungeon, if the party finder fails to find other players to join, it will search other servers to fill the party. Players can also invite players from other servers to join the party. This is really, really cool. You can add your friends from different servers and then invite them to play with you in the dungeons. Massive win. Also should cut down on queue times, or how long it takes to fill your dungeon role. Love this change. Very, very nice. Immortal system improvements. Basically, it is now, as the Immortal, they buff the Immortal side of the Raid the Vault. So now the leader of the party for the Immortals can actually prioritize if you want to, I guess, fight the raid that you're experiencing, or I guess that is next in line, farm the shadows. So let's say you see a bunch of like just, 10K CR players, and you're like, whoa, our team isn't good for that, but maybe the next set of Immortals are. You can go ahead and bump that person to the next queue, so you don't have to take on that team. It's definitely a buff to the Immortals, which is a little surprising. I feel like they don't necessarily need a buff in that mechanic, because generally the Immortals are strong. But I guess you could make the argument with the server merges that there are obviously way more shadows than there are Immortals, so this could be pretty beneficial. So we'll have to see how that plays out. So rejoining the Shadow faction, basically the one thing that everyone hated, instead of doing like the lottery system, they've changed it to the first come first serve system, which is going to be great. So basically, there's time periods at 1, 7, and 10, and the first few people, or however many people get to it first, then get to become and instantly start their trial to become a shadow, which is a huge benefit and change. This is the change I was mentioned earlier. So Treasure Hunter Paragon Tree. The Treasure Hunter Paragon Tree has been updated to remove the restriction of outdoor areas from the treasure find, gold find, and lucky specialization skills. Basically, they're saying, hey, you guys are having a hard time upgrading your legendary item levels, your gear slot levels, so we're going to help it so you can actually use Treasure Hunter in dungeons and raids and everything else, which is a massive, massive buff. So very good change there. Looking forward to that. This one was a nice little tip of the hat towards PvP. So Battleground end of season ceremony. When a Battleground season ends, players will now receive a summary of their previous Battleground season the first time they talk to the Battleground captain. Obviously, this is just not even like a quality of life change. This is just, like I said, a nice tip of the hat to those people that do play PvP to get like a quick screenshot, really, if you would say like that, as to how their summary was for the previous season. It would be cool if there was like a record that showed, and there might already be, I have no idea, that showed like your highest rank. But I don't PvP at all in this game because it's a little busted, I'm not gonna lie. But I mainly play for the PvE. So converting adventuring clan, converting adventurer clan. So converting an adventurer clan to a dark clan would now only cost 5 Akibi's signets. I don't know how many it was previously, but obviously it's probably gonna be lower now, is what it sounds like. This was actually a really, really nice change. So new resonance wings. So instead of adding at the higher end at like 7K wings, they actually added not so baby wings. So instead of just getting wings at 1, 3, and 5K resonance, you now get them at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5K resonance, which is a massive bonus. And it's really, really smart if you think about it from Blizzard, because you don't necessarily just want to reward or give the opportunity to move up to the highest paid people that have been playing or paying the most this whole time to go from, let's say, from 5K to 7K. You want to move the people in those lower categories. So think about it. If you're at like 1.5K resonance and you're like, ooh, I'm only 500 resonance away from getting the next set of wings that are a little bit bigger, you could entice someone to make some different choices in their gameplay and their spending or whatever else based off that change. So very smart, in my opinion. And as a free-to-play, now you do have a pretty good opportunity of getting a 2K resonance and getting those wings. I would say 3K resonance is probably not free-to-play friendly at all, but 2K is going to be a nice difference. I'm very curious how that will look in game. I'm still unfortunately just going to have the baby wings. I'm nowhere near 2K resonance. So this is the renewal Tongshi's renewal Lunar New Year. Basically, you can gift stuff away. You get rewards for doing things you would do normally. You get some random gems as well as an emote. Nothing too crazy. And then this one is the red bags. You get them from the dungeons, Elder Rifts, defeating monsters and stuff like that. Again, you're going to be getting some minute amount of items from doing this, and then boom. So you'll also receive a random legendary gem for their class. So no, legendary item for their class. Players who contribute 88 Tysum. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that's probably just the currency you get from this. So it'll be interesting when we see that in game. I don't want to go too much into that. We are getting a new cosmetic. This is the pay to play cosmetic. So for 1K orbs, Lineage of Beasts cosmetic set. So basically it says how better to best the beasts of the burning hells than to become one yourself. I think DM mentioned this in his video. This does have sort of like an aqua feel, very much water-esque, flowy. It's actually kind of pretty and less like scary than it reads as if it would be. But yeah, pretty cool there. Moving on, so this is the Battle Pass skin, which is sick. Honestly, they didn't do this any justice by having this come out the same time as this. I mean, look at the differences there. That is badass. I mean, you basically got like the Diablo horns coming out. Like the weapons are sick, the skulls are cool, the spikes are epic. I mean, and then yeah, you got this. It's like, it's pretty, it's cool, but like that would have been the pay to win one that I would have chosen. Definitely going to rock this on my wizard, assuming it's cool, because I will say the Demon Hunter one looks awesome as well. Too bad it's not cross class. I really wish they would change that, but that's a video for a different time. Okay, so Fractured Plane limited time event. So I've never played this. I know nothing about it. I will be making a video when it does come out, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. So basically, from my understanding at least, you use your class, you can upgrade through multiple floors, but then you also don't get to use your gear or set skills. You get to, like, I guess, earn your skills and gems and back, and then you get to proceed, basically master your class, and at the end you get a legendary item if you make it all the way through without dying. I've heard nothing but good things about this, so I am very much looking forward to making a video, covering content for it, because I also think that this could be the future, based off what I have heard, not experience, but just what I've heard, that this could be the potential future for PvP if they were to make a sort of like a battle royale system, which we've talked about in previous videos, and I will definitely be covering in future videos as well, because I think this has a lot of potential for the future of PvP, but we'll see. Hungry Moon's coming back. We're all used to it at this point. Some nice little benefits there. No complaints. Bug fixes, yeah, they're coming. Diablo Immortal developer Q&A. I don't think it's here as of yet. November 30th. Nope. So yeah, more coming. But yeah, very, very excited for this update. We will cover all of the new legendaries and potential builds, because I do think after reading them that some of these builds are just busted good and really just going to like transform the meta in Diablo Immortal. So that will be the video that I record tonight for you guys to see tomorrow. So let me know what you guys think. What are you most excited about? Which skin do you think is the best? Is it the 1K orbs, or is it the battle pass one? Again, like I said, the battle pass one is way better in my opinion, but let me know, battle pass skin or 1K orb skin, which one are you more excited about? Like I said, my vote is for this one. This one is just really epic. Well guys, until next time, lock it in.